So as I was saying, the hitboxes for the foxes are a little bit big, so it was kind of difficult not to jump on more than one at the same time. So, welcome back to this LP. I did a little grinding thing for soul gems and monster souls. Took about, I don't know, a couple hours of work, I guess. 16? Yeah, 16 will do. Are you sure? Sure. So... I didn't get to show you, but this gnome here says something different the first time you buy from him. Says something about his gnome friends hunting for humans. And while a little bit of a clue that something's going on, it doesn't really help you avoid, what's going on here? Aw, they formed a mob! That's so cute. I'm just gonna have to kill them all. Now imagine doing that for 2 hours straight. That's essentially what I did in order to collect all of these monster souls, and had to, of course, trade them in for a whole bunch of soul gems in order to capture them all. Fortunately, you can trade in 1 monster soul for 2 soul gems. Aureus, consider yourself lucky, because I had already recorded the second episode, and I consider the game kind of broken and unplayable, because I could not figure out how to get my monsters stronger. I figured that it would require these rare items that almost never appeared when you defeated a monster, and that would have just been tedious considering how little they affect your stats. Like I said, 1 point of strength, it amounts to pretty much half a damage. I have collected some more items over time. The stamina boost is nice, that's for sure. Well, speaking of which, what's going on with this stat? First off, pay attention to where it says Terrin's HP and stamina. HP 65, stamina 65. I'm gonna raise stamina by 5. Well, okay, so I couldn't really show it to you since it automatically closed this menu the moment I did it, but it said, if you could tell, HP 70 and stamina 70. Well, first off, he didn't have 65 HP to begin with, he had 55. So what's the point of showing HP and stamina if they're always going to show the same exact stat? This isn't Aureus' fault, this is Enterbrain's fault, because they programmed this funny. Let's see. Fairy Wings, Agility +1. Not entirely sure how much that'll really help, but whatever. Bones for Skeletons, Defense +1, once again, just half a point. And bones are really hard to find, there's only 1 at first. So your defense stat is not going to go up very much, which is why the stamina stat is a real help. Interestingly, the formations of enemies is slightly random. But anyway, as I was saying, I couldn't figure out a real good way to raise my monsters. Plus there was the fact that... Wrong one. Plus there was the fact that the monsters I fought had special skills, yet the monsters I captured didn't. So while editing the first episode, the teacher, wound up mentioning that you could use the monster souls to boost your monster strength. What I had thought was capturing extra monsters was just to buy supplies and stuff, and if you wanted an extra, like, say, an extra slime, which as it turns out isn't really possible, because each capsule here is designated for a different monster. But anyway, what you're supposed to do is... First off, what's the point of removing Goblin from the team? I'll check that later. Because you're only going to have one Goblin ever, and any enhancements you make to the Goblin, if you get another Goblin, it's going to have the exact same stats. But anyway, we're going to re-enhance the Goblin. We're going to give him a new ability. We got Blank, we got Flex, and we got Armor Break. Well, let's check Flex first. Alright. What does Flex do? I already taught my Fairy Cure, because that was very helpful for stuff. Attack plus 5, well, that's hardly worth anything, really. Attack plus 10? Yeah, that'd be a nice boost, because that'd be a 5 extra damage. Alright, let me check something here. I now have 31 Goblin Souls. Well, first off, it allows me to teach Flex again, but what happens if I choose this blank stat? 31. Okay, so what happens if I choose Flex again? It gets used. So that would be something to work on. Gotta keep track of which abilities are learned. And let's see, the other one is Armor Break. Which... You know what, I'll check these later. This is going to take a little bit, but thankfully I still have enough explaining to do. So the teacher... Okay, so in order to give experience to a specific monster, naturally Arias had to remove them from the party. Well, first off, he had to make it so only the monster was in the party, and then switch it out for Terrin before you really notice. So, let's see. Well, you can sort of tell something's going on because he switches out. Well, now I can't check the stats. It would have really been nice had you remembered to put something in those bookshelves. Because without a reminder how to play this game, there's going to be a whole lot of people who, like me, think that the game's broken, that the monsters are impossible to defeat, and give up on the game. But I'm sure that if you ever make a finished version of this game, or make a fuller version, however you want to put it, I don't know how you want to put it anymore. But I'm sure you make sure to have things working again. How far in am I? I still have to do that 19 more times. Actually, I'll just do it one more time. Let's move on to the fairy. I already taught Fairy Cure. Apparently the fairy can learn 3 skills instead of just 2. I don't know what the deal with the missing space on the goblin was. Flyby, learned. And Pixie Dust, learned. And then I'll just... Wait, what did that say? Add fairy? Hold on a sec. First I'll do that since I can't cancel out of the menu. Do you want to add fairy? Oh, duh, because fairy's not on my team. I was gonna say... Oh, so removing a monster would just remove the monster from my team, not from my capsule. Okay, I was confused. Again. So this is certainly time consuming, which brings me to another point. Whenever you defeat a monster on a field, you only get the soul of the monster later. Out there, right now, there are 4 goblins, 4 fairies, 3 slimes, and 1 skeleton. And their soul is only used to enhance the specific monster the soul belongs to. And at only 2 experience at a time, first off, adding all these experiences is very, very tedious. Second, it takes a whole lot of time to acquire all these crystals. So, that's not good. Let's see, what can a slime learn? This slime can learn Slime Shot. Can learn... That's a lot of menus to go through. Sticky Goo. And... Clogged Mouth. We'll figure out what these do in a bit. Well, I didn't want to really do that. But whatever. So that's pretty much all I had to say. Oh, also the pitiful stat enhancers for the stat increasing drops. I guess it sort of works out considering how long you have to grind these monsters in order to get them to level up, because basically you're going to be spending a lot of time fighting monsters anyway, so eventually it'll add up. However, what I would recommend is increase the amount of experience these souls give, and either increase the odds of finding one of those stat boosting items or make them boost a little more. Because, well, like I said, it took me 2 hours to do this. And what I did was, at first I fought enough monsters to collect 99 soul crystals, and then I wandered through the area over and over again using all 99 crystals. And then of course I sold some souls back. Once this becomes a complete game, if it ever does, what I recommend doing is starting off with getting 99 crystals, and then after that, go ahead and capture monsters, and every time you return to the spot, buy more crystals, and then whatever monsters you have left over, use for items or the boosting your monster stats. I think that's good enough for now. Me, I'm not going to bother with buying items because I know this demo is going to be short. The forest is pretty much it as far as I'm aware. Alright, I'm curious what this looks like. Okay, 20 experience, next level at 0, 0, 0. Well, how it pretty much works with RPG Maker, you cannot level up outside of battle, so what you have to do in this case, or pretty much in any case where you're given experience outside of battle, well, that would be pretty nice if you found experience in a treasure chest. I should try that. You open the treasure chest. Inside you find 1,000 experience points. But in order for the level up to register, that was a pretty nice hit, you have to win a battle. Alright, Fairy and Goblin didn't quite gain as much... Yeah, sure, why not? As I wanted. How close was I? 5, 3, 13. Well, what are their stats growth? I wasn't paying any bit of attention to their stats. I'm just going to assume that the stat growth is nice. And then off screen I made sure to level the Goblin and Fairy up one more level. So it's looking like 3 points HP for the Fairy, lots of MP, 8 MP, and for the Goblin, 2 MP and 5 HP. So let's check out their magic skills. Obviously, Fairy Cure is going to heal HP, 20 HP. Agility plus 5, I'm not going to find much use for that. Pixie Dust, well, hopefully that'll be useful. Though, the fact that it only works on a single enemy makes me less likely to use it. Let's see. Attack plus 5, well, that might be useful. It'll be useful if you wind up encountering a monster where you're not strong enough and causing 0 damage, that's for sure. Because nothing's more annoying than hitting the enemy for 0 damage. It's as annoying as missing. It might as well be a miss. And let's see. That makes the monster weaker, so... Actually... Armor Break would be more beneficial because then that would make it so that your entire team can cause more damage on a certain enemy. While this is just one person. Although, this is guaranteed to work. This, I'm not sure what the odds are. I searched it up one time, but whatever. Let's see. 20 damage, that's gonna be really, really nice. Agility, minus 5, not likely to use. Clogged Mouth, Silence, that could definitely be useful. And Terrin for some reason has MP. I don't know why Terrin has MP. Is that just what RPG Maker starts off characters by default? I don't know. So I'm going to heal up, and then we're going to go to the arena. So some of you may have noticed that I did gather some skeleton souls, and I haven't used them or made myself my own skeleton. Reason being, well, I'm not going to worry about it just yet, because this next guy here that I'm going to fight is going to give up a whole bunch of skeleton souls. I was just trying to decide which side I wanted to talk to him from. He's not broken. You would win 3 skeleton souls, which is nice considering I've only been able to get 1 every trip I went out there, so I don't have very many of them. So let's see how well I can do. It would be nice if there was like a taunt message before the battle begins, like he'd say, "Oh, I am going to rock your world." Well, let's go ahead and try making King Elvis fall asleep. Why is Terrin in the back? Did I put Terrin in the back? I don't know. I'm gonna go strategy here, except for Slime Shot. Well, actually, I'm gonna silence that skeleton here because the skeletons I need to turn messages back on. If you saw the shields that just appeared, basically what that means is their defense went up, which is going to make it harder to cause damage. The annoying thing is, since I didn't have messages turned on, I don't know if this guy stayed asleep. However, Terrin attacked him, so he probably woke up even... It doesn't matter. Why am I using magic if I'm just putting him to sleep if I'm just going to wake him up with the next attack? Unless it means he gets to skip a turn. Let's try see what happens. Actually, let's add this to Terrin. I guess I'm using that more than I thought. And use that, and attack. Guarding. Yeah! Magic is confined, so that was totally worthwhile using. Resisted the effect. Well, that's no good. However, the other skeleton is now silenced, so I'm not going to have to worry about their attacks going up. So I'm just going to wait. Well, yeah, I might as well find out what his attack power is. Alright, that guy's obviously not asleep. So he probably... Well, I suppose my attack power could be higher. I guess I could stand for another level up. But I'm sure I'll manage. Probably. Odds are they're going to keep using magic because they don't know better. They're just stupid like that. Obviously, we're going to want to use this. I guess this guy over here. So, obviously, I am using a little bit of strategy here. Did I already say that? Yeah, we're totally gonna win now. But just in case, Fairy Cure on Goblin. And double just in case, Guard! Because guarding in RPG Maker is useful. It cuts physical damage in half. I think magic damage too, but I'm not sure. 20 damage, and... So how much HP did this guy have? I don't know, I'll have to check, because... This game is not password protected. Yay, I got a bone! I get to increase defense by 1 point. Yay. I win! Ugh. Which reminds me, there was something I said in the last episode that might have caused a bit of confusion that I need to explain. However, I completely forget what it was I wanted to explain. Alright, now that we've done that, I'll meet you back in the monster capsule room. Did I say the capsule place? I meant the arena. Actually, I totally meant the capsule place, but I decided on the arena. As you can see, I now have the skeleton in my party instead of the goblin. I raised the goblins, slimes, and fairies levels to level 4. The skeleton I could only get to level 3. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to assume that I can finish the demo at these levels. The skeleton knows bone armor, which is guard plus 5, which might be useful. And also knows cripple, which reduces attack power by 5, which might also be useful. Let's see. I'm definitely going to be using Clogmouth. Now this fight is probably going to be Hobgoblin and ooh. Hold on a sec. How many soul gems do I have? 2. Oh, right, I gotta use this. So let's see what we got here. So we got Goblin Recolors. Let's start off by crippling the Joker's attack power, because you know he's gonna be pretty high. Silence the Hobgoblin, attack. I guess attack. Well. Fairy's just weak physical. Oh, wow. What? How much damage? That was a critical hit and caused 0 damage to the Joker? Alright, new strategy. Which one has... Agility plus 5, silence. Let me guess, none of us actually have... I should have kept the goblin in my party. Because I need to lower that guy's defense. Oh well. Guess I'll just have to whittle away at his HP. You can expect some fast forwarding. In fact, there might be some fast forwarding right now if I can't think of anything. Oh, right. I got this. How much MP does it take? Well, we'll save it for the guy in the middle then. Actually, we'll just go ahead and go after the guy in the middle now. Well, that kinda sucks. And here I am without any healing items. So I'm probably going to lose. You know, this plan thing is really useful. You can pretty much set what your party members do and don't do during battle whenever you're set to auto. However, there is one bit of a disadvantage here. There is no option to turn off defending, which is why I'm not using guard auto right now, because if I use auto, they'll have a tendency to guard sometimes, and I don't want that. I want to take this guy down. Yay! I win! That was a real struggle. And we get 3 Hobgob souls. And we did not lose any soul gems. That's good to know. Alright. Give me a moment to heal up. And because you guys are all probably dying to know what he says next, that's what he says. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I'd have thought I was screwed. It's a good thing I thought to use that cripple attack midway through, or I would have definitely lost. Alright, so the Hobgob souls. I thought that they were supposed to be used on the goblin. So I guess not. What was it that I was missing during that battle? Attack down, was it? No. Attack up. Well, let's see what we got here. Attack, agility, might have been, I don't know. Well, I already saved, and I guess these Hobgob souls aren't gonna do me any good, so I'm gonna go ahead and spend them on supplies. By the way, aren't you glad I take the time to edit this stuff out and not just leave the whole thing unedited, because that would get pretty bad. Boy, those Hobgob souls sure are worth a whole lot. They're valued a lot more than other souls. One for 20 potions and one for 10 magic ales. I'm saving the last one just in case, because I don't know what to use yet. They've got antidotes, but so far I haven't seen anything that actually poisons you. Actually, I bet these Hobgob souls are worth a whole lot of soul gems. Let's see here. Yeah, 1 for 10. That'd be a nice deal, but I'm not going to worry about it yet, not unless I actually need to worry about soul gems. I had mentioned earlier how that guy mentioned his brethren, and I didn't get to finish what I was saying because of the cute little mob that decided to come after me. But it's really not useful information. I mean, it lets you know that, hey, something's up, but it's not information you can use because there's no way of knowing that walking too far into this place will result in a battle that you can't win unless you're properly leveled up. In fact, right now I'm probably not properly leveled up. We're about to find out. Nar. We already read all this. By the way, there is a bit of a story to this game. Drat. I was hoping that the feature that lets you check your stats in battle was available in main gameplay, but it's not. It's only in test play, so I don't know who to use what stats on. But you know what? I think I'll just go ahead and do this one by one. Actually, let's start with the one far over here. Do they use magic? I don't know. Agility plus 5, that's not gonna work. I might as well try sleep. Wow, I don't have to worry about these guys at all. Well, I'll just attack willy-nilly. In fact, I'm just gonna set things to auto. Yeah, I'm definitely powerful enough here. Oh wow, they're already gone? How much HP do these guys have? More than 20, of course. But the story is monster training, battling. Hello, 4 soul gems. I was wondering if there was a reward to this. I'll explain in a moment. Ow. 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 Are you okay? Yeah, thanks for the help. Well, hello there, swear word. You just bumped up this game's rating a bit. It's the arena. Yep, there's your story. Those elf prigs? Prigs? What? And hello, another swear word. So we can see what it's really like. That's what the story is. Elves and gnomes do not... Well, elves and gnomes do not like what humans and dwarves are doing by capturing monsters to fight them in the arenas. But is that really so bad? I mean, sure, you have to collect their monster by fighting them, killing them, destroying their body, and extracting their soul and putting them into a capsule and then make them do your bidding. But at least you're fighting beside them. I think elves would be best at making ginger ale. What do you guys think? What is the elf drink of choice? Cutting down some trees. That might be important. Well, what about me? I'm beardless. Elf cries. Well, that guy's got a potty mouth, doesn't he? And he just walks right through us. Although, I suppose you couldn't really help figure out... No, wait, yeah. Pretty much, he walked right through us. You could have had him step up a bit and then walk past us. Well, hello there, wandering gnome. I'm gonna fight you now. And there's 2 of you. Oh, that one's actually caused a bit of damage. But not enough to really worth worrying about. I've still got this battle speed up high. Not that it really matters. They don't do anything about... So this is the way to collect soul gems now, huh? Yep, these elf guys are now all over the place. But we're going to... Wow, they really are all over the place. Gnomes, sorry. They're gnomes. I'm pretty sure you do not want this tree like that. Anyway, we're just going to skip all these monsters, because I'm sure up ahead we've got... Well, I guess we're going to have to fight some of them. The nice thing is, now that this path is open, there's more skeletons to find. Agility +1. Stamina +5, that's the important one. See, there it is, 70. I do not have 70 HP. In fact, I don't think I have to check. You probably know. So let's find out what's over here, huh? And before I lose the chance, and this is probably going to be cutting to the end of the demo down here. Another thing about the little demo skit at the start. Oh, so we're going to have a cutscene. Well, well, well. Another dirty human hunter despoiling the forest. Well, I can't help it if I'm human. I hope you enjoyed your freedom, boys, since now you shall see what fighting for others is like for those poor creatures you've enslaved. Hello, boss fight. Perhaps the final boss here. So I'm not going to take any chances. Elf, with all caps, so he must be important. Silence. I don't know if he has magic attacks, but he's an elf, so he's got to have something. And just to see if it'll work. And I forgot to find out. Oh, so there's where the poison comes into play. Alright, let's try that again. Because I don't know if any of this actually worked. Yep, he fell asleep. However, it's negated because Terrin just wakes him back up. But at least his... Well, I guess his Terrin came up right before Terrin, then. What am I thinking? Slime shot! I'll only get him one, but whatever. So... that's bad. And the attack power is... okay, I'm in good shape. He has 3 attacks in a row? Yay! Somebody actually used that feature! It's not a feature you want to overdo, especially if you have an enemy that's in a full party. Because imagine having a party of 4 and then you get hit like 8 times instead of 4. Actually, let's see. The most you can have monsters, the most monsters would be 6 monsters, and they can attack up to 3 times each. Can you imagine getting hit 18 times in a row? That'd be redonkulous. But I'm glad to see the feature used on a boss, because the one problem I have with a lot of bosses is they're too easy. They only get 1 shot in, and then you have plenty of time to recuperate. Whereas here, they get more than 1 shot in. You don't know which attack they're going to get. They might poison you and attack you at the same time. So it prevents an extra bit of challenge. Except here, because I've went and made his attack pitiful. But you get the idea. In fact, I can do it some more, just so he doesn't cause any damage at all. Aside from poison, because poison's screwing me over. As for the intro at the start, the demo reel, you'll have noticed that I kept the main intro, the Let's Play the Draygone thing, short, because I figured, why have 2 really long intros right after the other? I'm also worried that the main intro is going to become... come to think of it, I have MP restoring items. So I'm gonna raise Slime's MP and then do some things. Good thing I bought a bunch of these. Can't use it yet because it's not registered that I'm gonna be healed. But I'm worried that the demo intro is going to become a little redundant, especially if I have a lot of these demo fillers. You guys are going to get tired of that skit. So, for a little bit, I'm going to hold off on the demo fillers. What I might do is create more demo reels. I don't know, maybe 6 of them. That would keep things interesting. Use a different one each time. Reason I'm using the demo thing is because in Anime Maker it's actually called demo. I don't know why it's called demo. It should be called animation. Although there's already an animation thing. The animation thing lets you create the animations. The demo lets you create the skit. But I'm gonna have to create a few extra of those just so it doesn't become ridiculous or boring or monotonous how many of them I'm using. I won. I knew I'd win. And I received a magic ale for my troubles. See, I told you, magic ale. Elves have ale. I did say ale, right? Or did I say cider? Well, whatever. And what happens? Yeah, this has definitely earned the teen rating that I'll be giving these LPs. I killed you? I thought... Well, I guess I did kill you. Well, you're still talking, so how did I kill you? You don't seem to be any worse for wear. That it then? What happens if I go down here? End the demo? Well... Okay, first off, apparently this damage you take from poison is registered the moment you take the step rather than the moment you land on the tile. Well, let's see here. That's the end of the demo. Or I could talk to this guy again and find out what happens if you talk to him again. He'll probably just... You know what? No. Here's what I'll do. Settings. No display. I'll just set this on auto and watch what happens. Nothing happens. Nope. So we'll just end the demo. Yes! Thanks for playing the Terrin's Hunt demo! Look for this and other games by Aureus at RPG Maker Pavilion! And we get staff credits. Do we have the pictures or is it just credits? It is totally pictures, so we're going to go ahead and watch through these credits while I give my opinion of this demo. I am totally confused on whether this is meant as a tech demo or if it's a demo for a game that's yet to be finished or what. I don't know. Octagon Games. It's kind of funny how many of us have development studios with these special names and it's basically just one person each. I think the only development studio with more than one person is L&E Productions, which has Lantis and SK, Sarah's Night. I pretty much got in what I wanted to say for this episode. Glad I didn't forget anything. So that's it for the demos. No more demo fillers for a while, but we're going to go ahead and head into the next big LP in a week or two. And that LP is Whispers in the Woods for RPG Maker 3. Yay! And we got a picture of us getting our supplies because that was such an important event. I basically gave in all my opinions of this thing. Basically, make it go faster and less grindy stuff. Another thing I didn't mention, because I apparently didn't mention everything I wanted to mention, because now I'm going to mention everything I wanted to mention because I'm about to mention the last thing I didn't mention. I'm good at that. If only I was that good at saying other stuff. Apparently fighting Elvis is more important than fighting the princess. You can tell right there it takes a screenshot from the exact moment the game is taken. How it works is it's not an actual screen cap because that would take up way too much memory on the memory card. What it does is it memorizes event position, and then it just loads that up where everything was, where your characters were standing. But anyway, the thing I wanted to mention was the forest is bland. It's not that interesting. It's way too uniform. It's basically looks like straight paths were cut in a dense forest. The trees need to be a little bit more randomly dispersed and zigzaggy. I don't mean like path left and path up and then path left. I mean like one tree, like we'll say second tree to the right. Place that one space lower. That would make things a little more interesting. In fact, the bottom of the screen, that's a good example of making it less uniform. Right there. Pull to win. Has anybody ever heard of pull to win outside of RPG Maker? Who are they? If this was a longer game, well, first off, you'd only have up to 14 possible monsters because RPG Maker only has up to 15 party members. But it would be interesting. You could space it out a bit by having less new monsters in each place. You could have, like, in the next area, more slimes and skeletons. Well, I don't know how you would have it work. What are the hobgoblins for? The souls. Did you break it? Anyway, that's end. So, see you next time.